What's going on, everybody? I'm Fearless, and today we're going to be making a Juice WRLD type beat in Ableton. So as you may know, Juice WRLD did pass away in 2019 on December 8th. So actually a couple weeks ago was the anniversary of his passing. So we're going to go ahead and make a beat in his honor. But anyways, let's jump right in and get started. Alright, so for this beat, we're actually going to be using a really dope guitar melody from This A Banger and New Kid on Team Hit, so shout out to them for this one, and this is what it sounds like right now. Alright, so a nice upbeat guitar melody there, and I also went ahead and arranged it for how I want it to set up for the beat here. So obviously we're going to have everything play here at the beginning, and then we're going to bring in just the guitar. And then in the next 8 bars, we're also going to bring in the other guitar. And then this one's going to be the guitar with the Vox. And then it's going to go back into everything again. Alright, so let's go ahead and throw a clap in here to start it off. Alright, so nothing too crazy on the plugins here. I threw on a DBX, which is a compressor limiter by UAD, and gave it this little piccolo snare preset that I like to use on some of my claps and snares, and also threw a tiny bit of reverb on there just to fill it up and make it seem a little bit fatter. Alright, so next let's get a little counter snare to go in with this. Alright, and all we're doing for this one is we're using the DBX for this one as well. This time we're using the fast snare preset. Alright, so let's throw some hi-hats in here. We're probably just going to go with a 2-step hi-hat pattern, but let's get that down and then see where we go from there. Alright, so this is just giving it a little more feel, a little drag to it. So we're just taking out a note here, which makes it, just skips over that note. And then we're also taking out the note where the snare is going to be playing as well. Alright, so I like to do a little processing on my hi-hats all the time just to make them sound perfect and crispy. So the first thing I do is I put on a little effect rack with a pan man and a small amount of micro shift to make it sound a little bit wider. The second thing I'm going to do here is also put on some reverb, but just ever so slightly, just to make it sound like it has a little bit of room in there. And the last thing that I'm putting on here is actually looperator, and we're just going to do a basic little reverse sort of pattern right here. And that's all we're doing for that hi-hat, but I kind of want to make it a little bit more, so what I think I'm going to do next is throw in a second hi-hat pattern just to come in maybe with some rolls here or there. So let's check that out. Alright, and what you'll notice is I have a bunch of deactivated notes here. Literally all I did was take the other hi-hat pattern, bring it over, and then turn off all of the notes. So that way I kind of got a feel for where the breaks were at and where good spots would be to add these little rolls. But as you can see, we're just rolling upward here and just a regular roll at the end as well. Nothing too crazy yet. Alright, so the last thing on the drums now that I'm going to do is put in a little open hat just on the first. So let's get that in really quick. Okay, so now we're going to hop in and start doing this 808, but first I need to know what notes can we use. So what I'm going to do is actually take this guitar sample right here, drag it over to my 808 MIDI channel, and then I'm going to go ahead and press harmonize here. And what it's going to do is try to guess the notes that are being used so that we know where we can put our 808 so that they sound correct. Alright, so Ableton actually did a really good job this time. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take these bottom-most notes and play from there. So we can get rid of everything up here. We can put this on the first note so that we know it starts on C there, and then we can drag this out and we can see that it goes from C to E to A. Okay, so now we know what notes we can use on the 808. Let's just push it up a couple octaves and then we're all ready to start making this pattern. Alright, so let's put some more in here. Alright, let's actually put this one up an octave. I think it'll sound cool. Oh, just one of them there. Alright, definitely have to have a double up right here as well. Alright, damn guys, this one's really coming together well. Let's hear it with the rest of the drums as well now. Alright, and honestly, I think the last thing is just to throw a kick in there. So we're just going to be following the 808 notes. Alright guys, I know you probably want to see the processing that I'm doing with the kick in 808, so I'll show you that really quick. Alright, so for the 808, I'm using the Avalon, which is a vacuum tube compressor, just doing a little bit of compression, especially in the bass zone. And I'm also using a fab filter to go ahead and duck the kick ever so slightly when it hits. And on the kick, we're just using our favorite plugin, again, the DBS compressor limiter. We got a hard kick preset that we're using, and then we went ahead and played with the compression until we got to sit just right, just so it was hitting fat, but not too much. Woo, this one is hitting, fam, let's go! Alright guys, so I actually just wanted to add in a quick bass to go in with the other instruments before the drop happens. So this is the pattern that I ended up coming up with. As you can see, I'm doing some glides right here, and for glides in Ableton, it's super simple. You're just going to go into the controls right here, make sure glide is on, and set it somewhere, preferably above 100 or right around there seems to be the good starting range. And then make sure it's fine with your ears, and if it's good, you're good to go. So as you can see, I'm doing a little pattern here. It's not too crazy, but let's take a listen to it. And that just repeats over. Alright, so we literally did the most basic arrangement on this one. As you can see, we're literally just taking some things out at the very end here. We're taking out at the beginning here. Doing nothing crazy whatsoever. So we'll take a quick listen to this. Yeah guys, so a simple little beat that we cooked together, but once you mix it all together, it just sounds so fire and crispy. So guys, if you want to see how I mix this one down, because we didn't spend a lot of time on that in this video, make sure to check out this one right here, and it's going to show you exactly my step-by-step process. And besides that guys, I'm going to be catching each and every one of you beautiful people in the next one. Peace out, gang.